Ladies and gentlemen, this is huge news. Another breakthrough and revelation. The FBI searched, you could say raided if it was Donald Trump. If it was former President Trump, it would be sensationalized. The Federal Bureau of Investigation in an unprecedented search raided Mar-a-Lago, but here you don't even get the information. With Biden and Democrats, this happened in November. CNN, Federal Bureau of Investigation, searched Biden's former private office in November. Okay? Isn't that interesting that we never get the ability to make an informed decision with Democrats? They're either suspending the New York Post or not telling us about the same thing that happened with Trump, but with a Democrat. But anyway, Federal Bureau of Investigation searched Biden's former private office in November after his team found classified documents. CNN, the trusted news and name. And there are 1,850 boxes of material, 415 gigabytes of digital records at the University of Delaware that almost certainly the university in some capacity is hiding for Biden because there's classified documents or perhaps documents linked to Hunter, and the repackaging or the Cliff Notes version of classified data to their business associates to facilitate business transactions. The New York Post, Fox News, the Daily Mail, Federalist, and other publications have talked about that. So we have a situation where everyone is finally admitting CNN, and then there's, ABC News, Federal Bureau of Investigation searched Biden's former office last year after his lawyers found classified data. NBC, so CBS News, FBI searched the Penn Biden Center in mid-November. Okay, hit subscribe to this channel every day from now on, forever. I'll have of course, as you know, 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. videos. So this is the 8 a.m. Definitely be here for the 11 a.m. We're going to talk about the 1,850 boxes of Biden's material and 415 gigabytes, according to Fox News, that the University of Delaware, who has been taking interesting donations from interesting places also recently, all of that information that they're hiding or keeping or cataloging for the current president. During his time as senator, when he had no power or authority to declassify. That's another difference between Trump that makes this infinitely worse. But hit subscribe 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. And ladies and gentlemen, I will introduce 2 live streams every day. So there's a great many people who watch, who enjoy the live streams. I do as well. But I'm stepping up the channel. I'm going to try to really grow this channel and also H.A. Goodman's other channel. So be here today. The live stream, I'll have an evening, or I should say late afternoon live stream, and then a late evening live stream, and I'll have another video as well. So we'll do 5 total on H.A. Goodman every single day, and about 4 corresponding videos on H.A. Goodman's other channel. So subscribe there. Become a Patreon. To my Patreons, I see you and I thank you. Thank you so very much, my new Patreons. Thank you. Become a member. The super thanks is below. And also go to hagoodman.com to read my writing on The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications. So, ladies and gentlemen, be here for the live streams today. Just check the channel periodically. You'll see on the community tab what time they're at. So, they raided his offices. We didn't know that. We've found that out just in the past couple of hours. The reason they're doing this, I think this is by design. They know very well that Hunter and Joe and people around Biden, number one, they took classified data. They had access to classified data. Just like Pelosi when she beats the S&P 500. They have access to classified data. They don't sell the data like Robert Hansen or Aldrich Ames or others. What they do is they repackage or summarize. I was thinking of John Anthony Walker. Okay, these are people who took classified data and sold them to the Soviets to then receive money. That's not what the Democrats are doing, okay? So Hunter did not do that. Neither did Joe. Neither did people around him. They didn't take classified data with the classified marking and then sell it to the Soviets for money, okay? That is the definition of when they say, well, this is treasonous, but that actually is treason, okay? What the Democrats do, or at least Biden or Hunter, almost certainly people around Joe, they had access to classified data from his time as senator or vice president. You have the New York Post, the Daily Mail, and others breaking stories now on repackaged or Cliff Notes version of classified information to facilitate deals with major aluminum companies, oil and gas companies we've seen with Hunter. And it's obviously research that nobody else, there are firms that charge tens of thousands of dollars for their research, okay? Consulting firms. Nobody has access to classified data. This is beyond research. So obviously you'll have global entities, organizations, businesses, oil and gas companies, aluminum companies that will want information that nobody can acquire. So the classified data could come from the U.S. intelligence agencies or the Pentagon or anywhere else, okay? You're not going to get that anywhere but working with Hunter, potentially, possibly, or working with Joe or anyone around them, according to the New York Post and Daily Mail. So that's what this part of this scandal is. That's something Trump was never accused of. Actually, he was accused of selling classified data, but he doesn't need to. He's already a billionaire, okay? And yes, he's a billionaire. You'll find morally superior liberal Democrats. He's not a billionaire. Like, no, he's a billionaire. Okay, he didn't need to sell classified data. The Bidens were... The big selling point to Joe Biden was that he was the poorest of all the senators for a long time. And then suddenly he got $10, $12 million. Well, they say from speeches and book deals. Have you heard him speak? Have you read a book from Joe? No, you haven't. So nobody has. And so it's obvious that a lot of the business transactions were facilitated by classified data. Now, the interesting thing is you also have emails. The New York Post emails are incriminating, and you could indict them just tomorrow on these emails. Even Joe, these are felonies. This is not, we think Trump is working with another country and we're going to investigate forever and finding nothing. Okay? These are felonies that have to do with a very sloppy arrangement. See, the Clintons, they had you can go into how they were able to bend the law, but they had Comey save them. The Honorable James Comey saved them. Okay, nobody is really working to protect Biden anymore. They know that he is a liability because they know that Republicans will slowly get to the truth. The truth will be impeachment, and it doesn't matter if the Senate is not going to remove him. The impeachment is going to be an absolute catastrophe for Democrats. You won't have Twitter. You won't have Adam Schiff or others at the Intel Committee. They do not have the power anymore to prevent this, okay? The truth about what was going on, they were selling access to the U.S. government, and you had Biden forcing out a prosecutor, and the rebuttal to that as well, a lot of smart people don't think that he was forcing out a prosecutor who was going to investigate the oil and gas corporation in the country that was invaded, by the way, under Biden's watch, that was paying Hunter 80 to 100 grand a month. Okay, obviously, if the tables were turned and Eric Trump or Donald Trump Jr. had a laptop from you-know-where, and they were on the board of directors, and Trump went ahead and fired a prosecutor, they would immediately say it was foul play and criminal. Similarly, if any of the Trumps had access to classified data and emails that summarize those classified documents, they would say, oh my God, they committed crimes. Okay, So that's what the Biden office search was about. The Federal Bureau of Investigation knows all of this. Everybody knows all of this. Everybody does. Everybody watching knows what's going on. Now it's just a matter of Republicans deciding when to impeach or Democrats deciding when to have Biden ride off into the sunset, into a wonderful resignation, and Vice President Kamala Harris being the first female president, and then Hillary taking over in 24. Possibly she could win. If Arizona and Georgia don't back Trump, then he will not win. You need the Arizona and Georgia Republican parties and Republican parties, state parties everywhere backing the nominee. And if they don't back the nominee, you'll see what they have: Democratic senators and a Democratic governor in Arizona. So, I mean, if they don't back the Republican nominee, then, there's no chance. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. This is a controlled collapse of a presidency that we're watching. And they know that Biden committed felonies. And that's why the Democrats know this. There's so many incriminating, there's actually evidence. There was never, ever any evidence with Trump. It was always intel says, and there's a dossier, and there's a consensus. But that was a fabricated consensus. Not Richard Grenell and John Radcliffe were also in the intel community. They didn't have that same consensus. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now, 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Now we're doing 2 live streams every day on this channel. Be here for the live streams and also another upload. And go to H.A. Goodman's other channel right now for the corresponding segment. Thanks, everybody, and subscribe.